we hearing all this about Tom Hanks not knowing about the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, right? He don't even give you any information, really. He's just saying you don't know about. They just massacred, and he also didn't bring up. He said it was a wealthy black town, but we call it Black Wall Street. How do you not know that when you find that information? At least have that information, And once you get the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre information of 1919, like keep moving, and then get to calling that town what it was. It's my Black Wall Street. You talking about North Greenwood, Tulsa. You talking about just a stretch, man. It's now. It was really not a long stretch. We were just thriving so much, and even when they tried to thin out the town, we growing. We grow wherever we grow. Black folks. Y'all so quick to get folks to be like recognized. That shit got us. We be waiting. I know organizers be waiting. Like I'm gonna wait. Maybe next year you have enough folks to. Nah, you keep bringing babies in there and not educating them about Tulsa, Oklahoma. You hear a little bit about Roseland, Wilmington. Let's talk about all these places that thrive and that build. Weeksville in Brooklyn, New York. There's so many spaces. There's so many places that I don't even know all of them. I was a little shocked that he did not know, but I'm like, okay, I can understand. Say Black Wall Street. Say how dope we are. And the reason why we must say that is because you thinking that you impoverished right now and that you can't grow anything. Because they made you think that. They impoverished you. Folks be like, it's you got to pull yourself up. Man, they ain't even pulling themselves up. Y'all be quick to be talking about all these rich millionaire, billionaire. Bring me one that grew themselves up from the bottom. And y'all going to say a lot of them that y'all think grew themselves up. White folks who grew themselves up and they did not. We just got to. We're not talking about this enough. The reason why we need to talk about it, right? I want to be clear on that. Is because we living in the same nation where we was stolen and then placed in. And then we look at places like where we have a large majority, like in the Southern Belt, where we have a significant amount of black folks, and we still don't have any power there. That's the reason. There's a reason because think of any nation that's out here in the world. No nation comes close to how much they incarcerate beings. And us, and then Mexicans. And here who they talk about, who they have problems with. Black folks and Mexicans. These are the reasons why. Because people get crazy. So you need to have it in one section where you can get clear. Talk about guns. Nowhere on the face of earth has as much weapons. They be talking about places in the Middle East. They be talking about trying to show them with their weapons. And they will show the weapons in parts of Africa and even like the Philippines. And they will be talking about how harsh they are. We are number one in incarceration and in number one in gun sales and the amount of guns we have. That's because they're scared. They're thinking that we're the same type of people. We're not. Problem with us is that although we don't give in so much to civilization and to life in the world, and even to pushing in terms of, we've been doing that in the U.S. We're pushing that for everybody's, we talking about equality, throw that word away. Everybody's equity, everybody's human rights, right? So when we talking about civil rights, Civil rights went around to everybody. It didn't just go to black people. People be thinking crazy, thinking for particular legislation that was just for black people. I will wait. Voting rights? No. The Emancipation Proclamation? 13? No. Civil rights, where they first had for the 14th Amendment? No. Went for everybody. Didn't say black people. We are the justification for it. Understand that. We are the justification. We are never the sole beneficiaries of it. Even when we're talking about affirmative action. So I have to do this short, truncated video for you so you could be clear on it. And I'm going to finish here because a lot of my work has been dedicated to food sovereignty and health, the health of my community. A lot of it attributed to my own poor health, me being diagnosed with hypertension, and then me feeling a love for animals, and then learning that I don't have to consume animals. And so you're getting me being immersed in the struggle and finding the solutions with folks, and then coming to people and sharing that information and sharing even how we come to decision making. You might hear my voice. You might even hear my voice more. Does everybody want to articulate what they're doing? No. Does everyone need to articulate what they're doing? No. So, when it comes to food sovereignty and healthcare, understand this. When it comes to heart disease, we are number one. Now, it might be number one in the nation, but it's number one in terms of failing. This system failing us so that we can't even get the food sovereignty that we need. But we're also making these poor decisions. We're making some of these poor decisions. Yes, we're watching TV and we see KFC, we see McDonald's, we see Burger King. These are white brands. They might mystify it with corporations and having different people on there. They're white brands. As soon as they go against what is okay for white people, then there's a problem. That's why it has to be addressed all the time. Anytime you are dealing with issues, you have to deal with the immediate issue, the root causes. White supremacy is a root cause. Who's making these decisions? Everything is political. Who's making these decisions? So when you talk about food sovereignty, folks might be like, well, then go ahead and go get some land and go ahead. Well, can't do that. 2021, we were denied 4 times as much as white people when we talk about getting loans for property, right? Getting housing loans. We were denied over 4 times as much white folks last year. That's 2021, but no big difference than any other year. But when we talk about funding from USDA, 42% of black folks denied loans from USDA. It's supposed to be one of the easiest places to go. Man, they don't even care about your credit. 9% for white folks. And so we're crippled, even when we try to make these changes in ethics, and this is why veganism is so white, and you gotta get smart. This is why it's so white. It's not so simple for us to just go ahead and create land and go ahead and build. We're demoralized. It's not so simple for us to just go ahead and just create this land and build upon this land and grow vegetation so we can, meet our needs, long-lasting needs. I gotta give y'all statistics for y'all to even believe this. You gotta articulate these things. What happens when you can't even articulate these things? People can't even hear. Frederick Douglass had to be able to understand it, go through the struggle, right? Go through the struggle, understand it, and then communicate it in the language that they can understand. They're like, oh, okay, see now. like you don't even know this. Like you don't even know. And I say this to these folks, and they're like, okay, we leading the work. You're welcome. We are leading the work. You in the work with jobs. Don't get it twisted. You in the work with jobs. You getting jobs. It's a lot easier for you. A lot. Don't tell me about these other issues over here. The issues that we're dealing with are systemic. Then we got other issues that we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Individually. Then we all dealing with some other issues, collectively, you know what I'm saying, within family and whatever the case may be. But systemically, you're not going to be stopped from getting funding. Somebody, we can have everything, all our ducks in a row. Just chilling. I got this, I got that. And still get stopped. They want us to be individuals. But they also wanted you to be individuals when you were stripped naked and when you got here. Oh, you going over here. Oh, I know y'all in a relationship. We don't care. You going over here. Oh, this is taking the young babies away from the mama, daddy. We gonna split them up and put them over here. This is why today you distrust me. This is why you distrust folks that look like you. You don't even understand how this is all interconnected. But when you are organizing and you do it for a significantly sustained period of time, there is no way that you don't know this. There is no way that you don't do this. No way. This is why we say you go to organizers. This is why you go to organizers. Not some nigga talking.